Hello everyone, I'm the Walrusclown, and welcome to Walrus Reviews, and I'll review anything, it may be a cartoon, a movie, or a comic you don't know, and finding out is half the fun. Today's review is something that I stumbled upon after waking up after falling asleep with my pad turned on YouTube with the autoplay function turned on. It just happened to be on, and I watched it because of how fascinated I was by how lazy and terrible the animation and writing was. It wasn't even so bad it's good like with Donkey Kong. It was just like a train wreck. No matter how you want to, you can't look away. Ladies, gentlemen, and others, steel your nerves as we dive into the lazy, made-for-TV Nickelodeon movie, Groove Squad. Honor, roll the intro, please! 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Guess what movie's now Sublime? Groove Squad. Groove Squad. Burn it with fire! Groove Squad is a 2002 animated film that was produced by Deke Entertainment for the Nickelodeon Sunday movie tunes that were being aired at the time. So that I don't have to keep bringing it up in the review, let me get this out of the way now. This is a flagrant attempt to capitalize on the popularity of Disney's Kim Possible without understanding what made the show work to the point where it uses very negative female stereotypes that KP was praised for not using. If you're old enough to drink, you might want to pause the video and get the booze because we're moving on to the opium jag, otherwise known as the plot. We open on a scene of our three teenage cheerleading leads, Chrissy the dumb blonde cheer captain, Ping the spastic Asian girl, and Mackenzie the slightly less stupid than everyone else African American girl, facing off with three hippies in a warehouse. When our token male cheer squad mascot and Ping's fry for the evening, Zeke tackles them and tells the girls to go somewhere where they can power up when this happens.
Wondering how a group of typical teenage girls ended up like this? Well, it all started one day at cheerleading practice.
Yep, you heard right everyone, this thing is basically going to be a flashback that will suddenly cut to the present and then continue from there in the final act. It isn't like you can't make that work. One of my favorite anime of all time, Wolf's Rain, pulls this off superbly. But when you have the character suddenly take a sledgehammer to the fourth wall to pull it off, it just feels forced and lazy. Especially considering that the fourth wall is never broken ever again in the entire movie, save for when we need to cut back to the current timeline. It's not clever or funny, it's just inconsistent. Anywho, moving on. We cut to a high school where we find our leads at cheer practice working on a routine for the cheering championships with a stock bully mean girl trope character and her two parrot sidekicks who are doubly lazy because they're twins and only have one personality between them because all twins have a two-person hive mind and are totally not capable of being their own person or anything. Anyway, dumb blonde and mean girl get into a stereotypical bitch fight over one of them breaking a nail or whatever when blonde suggests that they get their hair dyed the same color as their spirit sticks and that they go to a friend Adrian's spa to do it, only for the mean girl and the parrot duo to insist the mean girl's personal hair person does it. After a jab by dumb blonde,
Personal groomer? Does it cut your hair before or after your flea dip?
they split up and our trio get a ride from Zeke and go to Adrian's shop where, while drinking smoothies and getting their hair done at the same time, a zap of electricity from the villain Dr. Nefarious Nightingale's mind control device goes haywire and BAM! Superpowers. Pardon me for a moment. Okay, where to start? So the magic science doohickey rearranges their molecules and gives them superpowers complete with costumes and everything. Dumb blonde gets super strength, super spaz gets the power to fly, and background pony gets x-ray vision. Background pony uses her x-ray vision to see Dr. Nightingale and his cyborg lab assistant Larry in peril. Super spaz flies and tries to save them, but they decline. So dumb blonde uses her powers to save them by force. Afterwards, he swears revenge for them fouling up his plans and rushes off, and their powers wear off for some reason. There are so many things wrong here. First of all, you can just tell that they based what powers the girls had on getting through this scene as fast as possible. Second, why do Super Spaz and Background Pony have BS accessory powers that only serve to accentuate the powers of other heroes? And don't think I didn't notice how the minority characters had the BS powers in order to make the white girl with the flashy marketable powers look better, movie. You have some balls if you think you can sneak this by me without my noticing. Anywho, the next day, while trying out some new cheers to see what would stick for them to defend their title at the cheer competition, Super Spaz and the Fry go to get some more smoothies. After a piss-poor attempt at flirting on screen...
Busy with the championship coming up, but I was thinking maybe we could go out sometime. As friends?
Just as friends?
Smoothies are ready.
Super Spaz drinks her smoothie and gets her powers back. After Dumb Blonde tests this by having her cup magically turn into a drink bottle...
Great continuity!
They go tell Adrian about this, only to discover that he used to be a spy, and that Dr. Nightingale was his arch nemesis that was always trying to repeatedly and failing at what else? Taking over the world.
Of course!
I have to say, why wasn't this about Adrian? I'm serious. The 2 times I laughed at this was because of his lines. His voice actor Blue Kama seems to be the only one who's trying. He has an interesting backstory. I'd love to see a spy comedy spoof about a mildly flamboyant retired spy coming out of retirement for one last hurrah. They had the better idea for a movie and they didn't use it. Anywho, they go to Adrian's and tell him about their powers coming back, get some pom-poms that do whatever the plot needs them to, soup up Zeke's car to the point where it can fly, and then a giant kaiju worm shows up out of nowhere and starts destroying stuff. After powering up with smoothies, they ask Adrian for advice and he says the one funny line in this.
Oh, any advice, Adrian?
Work as a team, babies. And if that doesn't work, run.
Then they come up with a half-baked plan to have Super Spaz fly straight into it, and this happens. No. She doesn't really get killed, but I'm going to assume that all 3 of them get limited invulnerability. Otherwise, landing face first onto concrete from at least 10 stories like she did should have killed her. Anywho, after Background Pony gets caught by the worm, Dumb Blonde gets smacked into a wall after failing to perform an I'm a man punch. The concussion must have caused a brief moment of intelligence in Dumb Blonde's mind because she comes up with a halfway decent idea that works, and they manage to save Background Pony. After defeating the worm, they are interviewed by a local reporter. If I could go off on a tangent here for a moment, this is so stupid. This universe is operating under 80s teen movie rules, so all the cheerleaders are all super popular. All the girls call themselves by their real names throughout the movie. Superheroes call themselves superhero names instead of the real ones for a reason. You're honestly telling me that no one recognizes them based on this fact alone. Are you telling me that the writers couldn't be bothered to come up with hero names for their own characters? Brawny Blonde, Sky Strike, and Goggles Girl. See? It wasn't that hard. Anywho, then we transition to a scene that only exists to remind us that the villain exists. Then we cut to them at cheer practice, where after some bitch fighting between Mean Girl and Dumb Blonde, we see that our heroes are tired as shit and that their cheering performance has started to be affected. After a scene showing off how shallow and irresponsible Dumb Blonde really is.
I haven't been much of a captain lately. I thought superhero stuff was gonna be so glamorous. Oh, don't cry. I hate it when people cry.
We cut away to Mean Girl going home and complaining to her daddy about how hard her rich bitch first world problems are, and wants her daddy to use his money to solve them, only to reveal something so shocking that only a 12-year-old fan fiction writer would think of it. It's revealed that Mean Girl is Dr. Nightingale's daughter! After some filler where Adrian gives some exposition about the functions of Zeke's new car upgrades and the girls' gadget pom-poms, an explosion happens and we see the girls start to rumble with the prehensile-haired hippies from the opening. And they fight, and Dr. Nightingale's cyborg assistant Larry finds out who they are after they power down, and that his boss's old nemesis, Adrian, is the man behind the curtain of the Groove Squad, and reports this to his boss. Then, Just before the cheer championships, Adrian calls them and says he saw Dr. Nightingale, only to reveal that he's been captured and the girls are walking into a trap. After more filler, we finally cut back to the present where the girls are about to be dropped into the acid, only for Super Spaz to come up with a good but risky idea. After the rope snaps, they catch the side of the cauldron with their feet and flip into a barrel fruit cocktail and kick their way into turning it into a smoothie and power up with it. So they beat up the hippie brigade and head to the clock tower that's conveniently placed behind the stadium where the cheer competition is. After some lame shenanigans, they knock a bell tower onto the mind control thingy and it blows up and Mean Girl breaks her leg and Zeke takes her place in the competition winning cheer move. Then we cut to a dance where Dumb Blonde is dancing with a Latino exchange student that her and Mean Girl were fighting over, and I haven't mentioned because he didn't do anything. Zeke and Super Spaz are a couple now, and Adrian introduces Background Pony to someone, and is this thing over yet? The worm shows up again, but I don't care. End already! Do you know what? It's over. It's over. In summary, this sucked. The writing was horrible and above all else lazy, even by made-for-TV standards. Groove Squad is clearly trying to be a parody of the cheerleading crime fighter concept, and that's probably going to be the main point people are going to try and use to defend this in the comments. But even at this, it fails. There are several times where it tries to go full Looney Tunes with the type of slapstick it's using, but the expressions of pain are just not over the top enough to laugh at, nor painful enough for us to relate to, aka the two of the three things necessary for cartoony slapstick to work, the other one being timing, with, in all fairness, was spot on. Don't waste your time with this one, folks. If you really need an animation with a female protagonist, there are 1,000 better options than this. Kim Possible, the original Powerpuff Girls, Star vs. the Universe, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, most Studio Ghibli films, all are good, you can't go wrong. I'm the Walrusclown, and I don't know what's next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell. See you next time!
Let's get this party started!